Hi, I'm Mike Mottram, the account manager at Fortifi, and in this video I'm going to take you through setting up endpoint policies against a publisher to redirect your users to a new landing page based on criteria within the action that they've clicked on. This might be helpful if you've got a number of campaign links. They all go to your website, but you have a product specific page that you want to divert some of these campaign links to. It would be difficult to set up an individual campaign for each of these, and that's no good for tracking. So what we do is use an endpoint policy to say, if certain criteria is met, then redirect to this landing page as a result. So to get started, in Fortifi, we need to define any action options against the action which we want this landing page to occur on. To do this, I'm going to click into my brands and then into settings on the brand and go down to my actions. So this is where we can define any new actions, or we can edit any existing actions as we want to. So in this example on this video, I'm going to suggest that when people click onto a certain campaign link with an option against it, they're taken to a sales page rather than to the main home page of the website. So this is going to be an option against the click action. So against my click, I'm going to click on the options button here, and we can see that there are no options currently against click. So I'm going to create one. So I'm going to give this a name of landing. The key will automatically populate from the name provided. And then we can set the visibility. This defines who can edit this option, add it to their campaign links, and make traffic go to whatever we set up as a result of this option. So public means that you can append this to the query string within the campaign link. Protected means that this can be edited by your publishers, and private means it can only be set up by yourselves in the Fortifi control panel. I'm going to leave mine as public for now, and then we can define a destination key. Again, this is defaulted from the name, so I'm going to leave it as is. And then we can set in the value type. So we've got a few options here: text, option, number, or Boolean. Text essentially means you can free type what you're going to have as this action option. The option choice here allows you to build up a list of values that can be selected from when using this action. Number allows you to define a number against the option, and Boolean is just a yes or no, true or false flag. I'm going to leave mine set to text for now because in this instance I want to append to my URL path to put in a specific landing page. And then we're going to set the URL type. In my case, I want this to be path because I'm going to append to the end of the URL the new page that I want this to land on within the same website. So I'll set this to path, and then we can pop in a default value. Now I'm going to leave this blank because I want every click action that occurs that I've not set an option on to go to my main web page. So we'll save that, and we can see now we have an action option. So the next stage is defining this within an endpoint on a publisher. So I'm just going to go to a publisher record. I'm going to choose my internal publisher record here, and I'm going to click on policies. In here we have endpoints as an option for policies, and I'm going to create an endpoint policy in here. So we've got a bunch of options on creating endpoint policies. First of all, you can define the action that you're going to do this on. I obviously want click because that's the one which has the options that I want. You've also got the campaign, so you can set this in against a specific campaign or for any campaign. And then you can define a number of other criteria which will be useful to make sure that this endpoint only gets triggered for the specific actions that you want it to trigger for. For instance, you might want to have a landing page based on the operating system. So for instance, if I wanted to make sure I had a landing page for Windows, I could put in the operating system Windows here. This policy will only trigger when the operating system of the visitor that is clicking on that campaign link has an operating system of Windows. And when they do, anything I set in this policy will be enacted. So my options here are landing or any other options I've set against this action. I'm just going to put in a path of /Windows. And of course that would be the web page of my landing page for Windows. So if I create this endpoint policy, we can see here now that if the action is a click, the brand is Fortel and the operating system is Windows, this policy will trigger. And what this is going to do is change the URL with a path type of /Windows on the end. So it'll go to my domain /Windows. I can create another endpoint policy for, say, Mac OS if I had a specific landing page for that. Alternatively, you can do one for a purchase. So you can put in / say purchase for my spending page. Now, it might be that you don't want to use criteria in the action itself, i.e. what operating system the user has, what browser they have. You might want to be able to force this campaign link to go to this particular landing page based on one of the SID information in here. That's something you can control when you're creating your links. So for instance, I'm just going to put purchase in my SID2 and I'm going to save that endpoint. So in this instance, we can see here that this will only trigger if the SID is purchase, and that will put on the path of /purchase there. So if I now go back to my campaigns and I take a look at, say, Facebook as an example, we've got a link builder down the bottom of every campaign. This is really handy for you to type in SID information and it will automatically build your link there, so you don't have to do that manually. So I'm going to type in purchase and we can see it's built my URL link here for us. And if we copy that, that is what we would put into any links that we're using as part of this campaign. In this case, it's Facebook. So I would embed that within my Facebook posts for any post that I want to divert straight to our purchase page rather than going to the home page. So that's it. That's how to create endpoint policies against your publishers. And in this particular instance, how to use them based on the criteria within the action or based on the SID that you define to divert to a specific landing page and start filtering your traffic to get to the exact pages you want it to go to.